All right, we are on our last page of the study guide. I haven't had too many people come and ask me questions, so that's making me think that you guys are watching the videos, you're feeling pretty good about the study guide, you're understanding how to solve these problems. Remember, if you don't understand something, even if you're just a little bit confused and you want an explanation, come see me in the mornings. I'm waiting for you guys to come talk to me. Ella came and talked to me today, and I loved getting to explain one of the problems to her. And then Natasha came up, and she just asked for some example problems to help her study for her test, and I was able to give her some of those. So I was so proud of both those girls for taking that initiative and aiming high. So if you want to practice, if you have a question, come talk to me in the mornings. We have 2 problems left to go, so let's look at number 17. Use the symbols, addition, subtraction, multiplication, or division, to make a true equation. You may use each symbol more than once or not at all. The parentheses have already been placed for you. So let's look. We've got a 6 and a 4 in parentheses. We've got an 8 and a 10. And we've got to add in our operation symbols so that we get the answer of 82. So this could get tricky. You could think, oh man, I'm never going to understand this. But try not to have that fixed mindset. Have a growth mindset. Let's just try some things out and see what happens. That's the easiest way I know to tell you to figure it out. It's just kind of trial and error. So we know that whatever's in here, in the parentheses, we have to do first because of our order of operations. When we begin together. Parentheses first now, please be clever. Exponents come right next in line. You can multiply and divide at the same time. Now subtraction and addition. Let's work it out with computation. So we do have to follow our order of operations when figuring out this problem. So we want our answer to be 82. So let's think. Let's start with, let's start with addition in here, all right? So if we did addition, then that would be 6 plus 4, which would give me 10. I have to get to 82, so if I did 10 times 8, that would be 80, but then I can't get to 82 because I have this 10 that I have to do. Okay, so what if we did 10 minus 8, well, that would give me 2. And there's no way to get to 80 with a 2 and a 10. Okay, so 10 divided by 8, that's not going to get me an even number. 10 plus 8 is 18. Can I do anything with 18 and 10 to get to 82? No. So 6 plus 4, that's not going to be it. All right, what about 6 times 4? If I did 6 times 4 first, that's going to give me 24. So now let's see. 24, times 8, that's way too big. 24 plus 8 would be 32. No, that doesn't seem to work. 32, well, Okay, well, what if I put a multiplication symbol here and I said that's 8 times 10? That could be 80. Well, 24 and 80, no, that's not going to get me to 82. So I'm not thinking that that's going to work either. So let's see, that's addition, that's multiplication. Division's not going to work because 6 divided by 4 is not going to go even. So what about subtraction? 6 minus 4. Well, that gets me to 2. Well, hey, look. Well, there's a 2 there. So maybe I'm on the right track. Let's see. How could I get an 80? Oh, well, hey, I just said that if I multiplied 8 by 10, that would get me 80. So if I did 8 times 10, that would get me 80. Well, 80 plus 2 equals 82. So what if I put a plus sign there? You think that would work? Let's try it over here and see. So 6 minus 4 plus 8 times 10. Using order of operations, parentheses, gets me 2 plus 8 times 10. And then I do multiplication and division. 8 times 10 is 80. Ha-ha! 2 plus 8 is 82. So I need a subtraction sign, an addition sign, and then a multiplication sign. So like I said, it's all about trial and error. The thing to remember with a problem like this is you have to follow order of operations. So you don't always have to go from left to right. In this problem, I started on the left, but then because I put a multiplication sign here, I jumped over to this equation and then back. So you don't always have to go left to right. So think about that when you're trying to figure out the answer. All right, let's look at number 18. Mr. Cathy is getting ready for Friday on a Saturday. He is overseeing a project with 9 volunteers. Each volunteer will need 3 rolling brushes and 2 paint brushes. To figure out how many total brushes are needed, Mr. Cathy writes the following expression. So they've already given me the expression. I don't have to come up with it, so that's nice. A, how many brushes does the group need in all? Well, let's see. To figure out how many total brushes are needed, he's going to use this equation, so this tells me how many brushes are needed. So all I have to do is solve this problem. Using my order of operations, I'm going to write it down here again. It says I have to do parentheses first. So parentheses is 3 plus 2, 5. 9 times 5 equals 45. So if there are words in my problem, there needs to be words in my answers. 45 brushes. Okay, that wasn't too bad. Look at B. Will Mr. Cathy get the same answer if he first multiplies 9 times 3 and then adds 2? Explain your thinking. All right, well, if he first multiplies 9 times 3, that would be 27. And then if he adds 2, that would be 29. 29 is not the same answer as 45. So the first thing I need to do is answer the question. Will Mr. Cathy get the same answer if he first multiplies 9 times 3 and then adds 2? So I'm going to use my P of Q and I will say, no. Mr. Cathy would get 29 brushes if he multiplies first. And then it says, explain your thinking. So I'm going to use order of operations to explain my thinking. Okay? So order of operations says that you have to do what's in parentheses before you do what's outside the parentheses. Otherwise, you won't get the answer correct. So I need to say that. I need to say, he must do 3 plus 2 first, because the order of operations says parentheses must be solved before multiplication. I'm going to go back and reread it, make sure it makes sense. No, Mr. Cathy would get 29 brushes if he multiplies 9 times 3 first. He must do 3 plus 2 first because the order of operations says parentheses must be solved before multiplication. Man, I've got a lot of musts in there, but that's okay. All right, so I answered the question. No, he's not going to get the same answer, and I explained my thinking. Because of order of operations, we have to do parentheses before multiplication. All right, so there you have it. That is our study guide. All of the questions have now been answered for you through these different videos. Go back and watch the ones that you missed. Come in and talk to me about any questions you have. We do have numbers 5 and 6 that we still need to go over, but we haven't gotten to that in class, so we'll go over those sometime next week before your test on Thursday. I'll see you guys tomorrow.